My turn.
Yes, asante sana. Today is indeed one of our very best days inside tiga itwari show for you know to meet takawa muthenya wa kiumia live ya tiga itwari show page on Facebook, support pages, Embu newspaper, Embu news channels, Embu news press, YouTube, tiga itwari show to gavana kwaria maundu kadha wa kadha, cutting across so many things that we do. Socially, physically, biologically na woguo nginya matrimonial ni mbeta muthuri kimwana utari mbuge wenda overseer wa maviri. We have no some guests today all the way from Ugwere in Runyanges, flew to the US, amekuwa akifanya mambo kadha wa kule akashinda taji, na leo tuko hapa and I want to talk 1 2 3 things about the title that she won, what she's doing with it, and her advice to the young men, young gentlemen in the entertainment industry, the talent industry. So karibu sana Queen Sharlyn.
Thank you.
So how have you been?
I've been doing good. Very busy. Yes.
So briefly tell us, what is your name?
So my name is Sharlyn Kagereki. I am Miss Kenya USA as of last month. Yeah. I'm also 19 years old, the youngest Miss Kenya USA. Yeah.
So you're 19 years old?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Only?
Yeah.
And you won a title?
Yes.
A worldly recognized title. So tell us about, where are you from? We understand that you're from Embu. Where are you exactly from in Embu?
I'm from Owerri. Yes.
Owerri.
Yes. Yes.
From the very popular Kagereki.
Yes.
Mtu wa hesabu.
Yeah.
So Kagereki is your grandfather?
Yes, he's my grandfather. I'm his first grandchild. Yes.
And you're very happy about that?
Yes, yeah. I'm carrying on his legacy. Yeah.
So for how long have you been in the US?
I've been in the US for almost 9 years now. Yeah.
So you flew to the US as a young child, a young girl.
Yes.
Tell us that story.
So I was 11 years old when I moved to the US. So I was actually in class 7 at the time. Yeah, and now I'm in my 3rd year of university. Yes.
Now that you flew to the US while you were in class 7, that means you were schooling in a school within Embu.
Yes.
So tell us about your schooling, your early schooling years in Embu. Which school did you go to?
So I went to BD actually. I think that was in class 1 if I'm not wrong. And then I actually went to Kamudada boarding school. So,
that is in Kiremo.
Yes, I was there for almost 3 years. And then in class 7, that's when I left to go to the US. Yeah.
So you're a Kamudada alumni?
Yes.
It's a nice school nowadays. You need to visit before you fly back to the
I must, yes. I still keep in touch with most of my friends from school, so it's nice. Yes.
And now that you flew to the US as a young lady from class 7 flying all the way to the US, did you still continue to school in the US ama ulienda tu kaanza maneno huko?
Hapana, I kept on with school. I started modeling when I had actually graduated from high school. Yeah, so I started when I was 16 years old. I got a modeling internship. But before that, I got an opportunity to do a collaboration with young teens. It was just a fashion collaboration. Yeah, so we did that, and then that also opened a door to me applying for an internship, and I got it. And then after that, I did Coeur d'Alene Fashion Week. I was one of the first models there, so I've been with them for the last 4 years, 4 fashion weeks, yes. And then after that, I went to Africa Fashion Week Seattle, and then LA Fashion Week Festival. Yeah, and now I'm Miss Kenya USA.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And before we even dig deeper into the title that you have won and how it is conducted in the US, how is schooling, how can you compare school, same curriculum system?
No, it's a bit different. So I think that Kenya is actually trying to do the same kind of similar thing as the US as well. But for school there, we don't have to pay. For primary school, we don't have to pay for high school. But in college, you do have to pay. But most of the people get scholarships unless the parents are able to pay for it. So for me, I go to a private university, but it's mostly through scholarships. Yeah, yeah.
So what inspired you going to the US? Ni wazazi wako kule ama namna gani?
So my mom actually got married to an American, and then we moved to the US. She was a bit hesitant at first, but then she went and saw how everything was, and she thought it was a good idea for us to go, so we went there. Yeah.
Life in the US, how can you compare? Because so many people want to fly to those abroad countries. How is life in the US? Simple, complicated, struggling?
I would speak for my life personally. My life in the US in the beginning was a bit rocky. It was tough, honestly. We went through a lot of things. We went through a bit of domestic violence, but we survived through it. But I would say anywhere in the world has problems. It's just how you take it and how you're able to manage and cope with it. Yes.
How is post-COVID in the US?
Right now it's pretty good. People are working. I was working during COVID. I actually did get COVID, which was terrible. It was so bad. I was so sick, but yeah. Luckily there were no lasting effects on me. But I know for a lot of people it really affected them afterwards. But as of right now, it's a lot better. Yeah.
And 19 years in the US, do you have a job already?
Yes,
that is
I
indeed
do have
shocking.
a job. Yeah. So actually, my first job I got when I was 15 years old. I was a tutor for mathematics. Yes, yeah. Yeah, so I tutored two young girls in mathematics. So I was following my grandfather's legacy as well. Yeah.
That is indeed a
Yeah, so afterwards, I ended up doing cleaning. I was actually a cleaner for a church. So I cleaned at a church, and then I worked my way up, and I actually got the internship, the modeling internship. After I when I turned 17, I worked at a fast food restaurant, and then afterwards, I started being a caregiver and started taking my modeling more seriously.
Now you're saying that at 17 you worked as a cleaner in a church.
Yes, yeah, and I was also a college student at the time too.
So you have churches in the US?
Yes, we do.
Are you an Anglican?
No, I am actually I'm Catholic. Yes, but my mom is a Christian, so I joined her in most of the churches.
Hivyo kuwa ni mtu wa kuosha kanisa.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I really started from the bottom, I would say, but really worked my way up because that's one thing I would say was instilled in me, was that you have to work hard for what you want in life. Yes.
But Sharlyn, allow me to ask you, now that you've told us that you worked as a cleaner.
Yeah.
So many people want to fly to the US, to Canada, to UK.
Yes.
What is the kind of the job that people do there? Now they've seen that you're a caregiver, as a church cleaner, vis-a-vis a tutor for young children doing mathematics. Which are some of the jobs that are not found in the US for lads that want to fly to the US?
So, one thing I have noticed a lot of Kenyans usually do is caregiving. Yeah, like for my mom personally, when she went to the US, she was a credit control manager, but that degree was not really something that she could use out there. So she had to start in the medical field. So she worked she actually went to school, got her degree for nursing assistant, and then afterwards healthcare informational manager, and then afterwards she started her own business as a provider, so taking care of the elderly. Yes, and then and now she's in nursing school. Yeah.
So caregiving is indeed a nice job, while a cleaner is indeed a nice job in the US.
Oh yeah, I mean you have to hustle. That's the one thing in the US. If you go there, you must work hard. Yes, for everything you want.
So for how long has it taken you to learn to speak such fluent and conk English?
Oh, I would definitely say thanks to my grandfather, because he made sure we spoke in English. So I was pretty fluent in English when I went to the US. Although because my grandfather actually studied in the UK, so he really made sure that we really took English very seriously because he was like, you know what, one day you might go abroad and you need to be able to speak fluent English. Yeah, so when I actually went to the US, I took an honors class English. Yeah, so I was one of the best English students. Yeah.
So you learn English as a subject.
Yeah.
Also.
Yes, you do. You do. You learn English as a subject, just like you learn English as a subject here or Kiswahili. But you can also take Kiswahili as a course in high school. So luckily, since I was very fluent in Swahili at the time, I did an examination that I tested out of, and afterwards I didn't have to take any other subjects. So they require you to take a subject like studying French or studying Spanish, etc. Yeah, so luckily, since I knew Swahili, I just got those credits through passing a test.
Nimbita muthuri kimwana utari Embu umuthi ingi ni nginya tukare tukiaragia kithungu na muna iyo na ndikarorerwo muno ndikarorerwo muno nundu tuko tumenyerete aba tigai twire tumetaga tigai twarie show for your live on YouTube as tigai twarie show on Facebook tigai twarie show page kundu gwitagwa support pages Embu newspaper Embu news channels Embu news press. We have a queen here all the way from Ogweri met USA. Tuko hapa na Queen Sharlyn, the reigning Miss Kenya US. Title umesema ni 1 month old?
Yes, it's 1 month old. Yes.
So she comes from Ogweri, tunaje maundu kadha wa kadha. You can stream in your questions as a young model to perfect this. She has worked for it. Uria kiuria giaku, maybe your salams to Sharlyn. Tukena kora tukithie na mbere wega muno. So we are live. We are doing the first, it was the very first inaugural show inside our very good studio. We want to, in a very big way, salute one man, to Mr. Newton Kivuti for this support. People have supported us all through, so we want to salute them all. Mundogo to Newton Kivuti, mundogo to Mukundi Priva, Manat, mundogo to Ken Java, jambo to Endwin Du Boys, na mundogo to Munjumba wa Tamanya, John Gitonga Mukunju. We salute you in a very big way. So Sharlyn, tell us about this title. Before COVID, hatukuwa tunaisikia. Was it at a halt ama those that were your predecessors were not so serious about the title?
They were serious, but I think one thing, they did not get the opportunity to actually come to Kenya and really do like a media tour, etc. So one thing with Miss Kenya USA, they did not plan for me to come to Kenya. I came because of family. Although they were like, oh, since our queen is in Kenya, why don't we use this to her advantage and actually get her media attention? So they planned out a few interviews for me, and yeah, so I've been doing that media tour. But during COVID time, they did put it as at a pause because they didn't want people to get sick, etc. Yeah, but I'm the first queen in almost 4 years now.
The first queen in almost 4 years,
yes.
And from Kenya.
Yes.
More specifically, Ogweri in Embu Kagereki.
Yeah.
That is indeed so awesome.
Yes.
With a female governor,
Yes.
You're a female queen.
Yes.
Before I come to that, and how many media stations have you been to for the past 1 week, 2 weeks?
I think the last 3 weeks. Oh my goodness. I don't think I can keep count. Yeah, there have been so many. But they have all been amazing. It's been fun doing it. Yes.
I know you've met so many Kenyans now that you're a queen that you didn't meet before when you were a very young girl living for the US.
Yeah.
How is your reception? Wanakupokea namna gani?
They love it. They appreciate me, and I'm so grateful. Everybody is so nice. Yeah. So one thing I love about Kenya, everybody is just very. They love interacting, and another thing, they're just loving. Yeah, they're very kind. Yeah.
So besides Embu, I know you're running in JKI in Nairobi. That is in Nairobi County. Then you travel all the way to Embu. You traverse the Murang'a County, Kirinyaga County to come to greet your shows in Embu. So how many other counties have you toured on a very serious working tour?
So mainly it's been in Nairobi, but this past weekend I just went to Eldoret to just hang out with some family members. Yes, but that was just family time, no business. But it's been mainly Embu, Nairobi, and what else? Yeah, those two actually. And Moranga as well. Yes.
Haven't gone to Mombasa?
No, I haven't. Imagine that was on my bucket list. But I think next time I come to Kenya, I'm definitely going. I've never been to Mombasa, so I must go. Yes.
So about Miss Kenya US,
Yes.
is it Kenyans grouping themselves and thinking that we need to do this for our people, and how does it happen? How is it planned?
Yeah, so it is mainly, it's a women empowerment thing actually. So it's led by women now. The person who started Miss Kenya USA was a man, but it ended up evolving, and now women are the ones who are in basically controlling Miss Kenya USA. So it's really nice because you get to meet a lot of wonderful women who are very inspiring. They're very motivated in what they're doing and what they want to advocate for as well. Yes. And also it's a sisterhood. That's one thing I love about Miss Kenya USA. Yes.
So, who inspires you a lot in the US nationally? Who, among all the ladies that we have, so notable, for example, in Embu, we have Governor Mbari. Who inspires you the most in the US?
In the US, I think I would say my mom and my sister. Yeah, my sister Vivian, because she has special needs, and that's one thing I was very passionate about advocating for. Yeah, so those two really inspire me because they never give up. That's what I mean. Yes.
So you mentioned something advocating for the special needs because your sister is has a special need.
Yes.
So what does the title come forth with? There's responsibilities coming forward with this title to mention about a few.
Yes. So my platform is mental health with an emphasis on special needs. So Miss Kenya USA gives me that space to actually advocate for that because in Kenya I'm working with two organizations. I'm working with NONDO, Northern Nomadic Organization for Persons with Disabilities, and Heshima, Dignity and Designs. Yes, it's a school for special needs. So those are the two organizations that I'm working with here in Kenya, trying to support them in any way I can by getting donors, support in any way, media attention. Yeah, because they have told me that there's a lot of things that they definitely require from Kenyan community. Yeah, so I'm kind of like their voice, and I'm the middleman, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
That is indeed a good. But when you talk of the special needs, and it's a very fast topic.
Yes.
So briefly elaborate to maybe our viewers. What does it mean when you're an advocate for the specially needed people? Who are these people?
So these are people who, let's say, they may be without a leg. They may have cognitive problems. They may have visual problems, impairments. They might not be able to hear, etc. Yeah, so it comes with a lot of different things. Yeah, they can be ill in some way. But my goal is to end the stigma. That's my motto, and let's end the stigma. So my goal is to advocate for them as much as I can, bring media attention for them, because they're in our community in Kenya. They're the community that are less advantaged. They're at a disadvantage in Kenya. Basically, they're the marginalized communities. They are not spoken about enough. And most especially like in Nondo, they focus on nomadic parts of Kenya. So that is one place that obviously for starters, it's very dry. For persons with disabilities, it's very hard for them because if let's say they can't walk and they don't have crutches to be able to help them walk, they can't go fetch water, and obviously water is one problem in those nomadic parts of Kenya. So this is my way of just being their voice, trying to bring in as many donors as possible to help them out as well. Yes.
And is it working?
Yeah, so far I have received a few donors, but any help is definitely, it's definitely great. I'm grateful for it, and the organizations are grateful for it. So yes.
Does it limit you from advocating for the lives of young? Because when I come to Embu, for example, with the lower side of Embu, that is in Mbere North, Mbere South, where all of our girls are facing the problem during their menstrual hygiene.
Yeah.
Can you still do something about
Yeah.
some of?
Yes.
Does it allow you to advocate for the needs of such girls going through such problems during the menstrual cycle?
Yes, it does. Because one thing also, think about it, for persons with disabilities, if a girl has a special needs, she has a disability in any way, and she cannot get access to any pads, that's very difficult. So yes, I'm also trying to help out to that as well. And obviously, one thing I really wanted to start at home, but I couldn't really find any organizations that were really based in Embu. So I chose to start with nomadic parts of Kenya also, because I'm also through Kenya, so I wanted some ties in it as well.
That is indeed a good one. So, but when we talk of that, I know Queen Sharlyn,
Yes.
1 month old,
Yes.
from the US.
Yes.
So twina mundu wetagwa Queen Sharlyn all the way from where akaye kundu gwetagwa US agacinda taito wetagwa Miss Kenya US, na turagia nake maundu katha wa katha megie mwana wa kamwiritu na maundu mengi muno maria aukite wira ku thiini wa bururi wa guku gwetu, na neciano arathikiriria maundu mau mothe. You can stream in your questions, your live via Facebook, Tigaitwa the show page on Facebook, support pages, Embu newspaper, Embu news channels, Embu news press, na Tigaitwa the show account on YouTube. No lirikana bandu betagwa influence media wa kiongozi msanii wenda Charles Marvelous kuthondeka kwa muziki, ukathondeka kwa maundu mengi mega wakuthondeka voice overs, videography, photography. Tukoragwo twi bandu betagwa Nena Plaza au kavau oria influence media na ukana ulitigaitwa wale shone kuno kwa njamba etagwa Charles Marvelous kiongozi msanii akina kusota moja kwa moja. Back to Queen Sharlyn. Umetembea, si umeniambia unasikia Kiswahili kidogo kidogo. Unaelewa Kiswahili? Unajua umetembea hapa nchini wakati rais yako advocating for climate change. We had a summit the other day, no uliona pale Nairobi. Are you planning to plant 1 or 2 3 trees ama hii maneno ya climate change namna unaichukulia namna gani? As a young lady, as a young queen.
I take it very seriously, yes, because as I said, in nomadic parts of Kenya as well, that's something they're really struggling with. So yes, I took it very seriously. I actually wanted to attend the conference, but I didn't have enough time to, so yes.
But at least we have a graduation tomorrow in Embu.
Yes.
Are you purposing to what?
Yes, I am planning on going. I'm planning on attending, so we'll see you there. Yes.
So Queen Sharlyn, before as we near conclusion, we have so many young girls that when we posted that you're coming through, wakasema tukuulize, for you to get to the levels that you've got at a very tender age, as your within your rating is a teenage, what has taken you to rise to this, to win the Miss Kenya US, to have all that traction, media tours? I know in the US it's a very big thing. In Kenya we're making it big. What has it taken you as a very young girl to achieve all this?
Determination, never giving up. Another thing is this was my first pageant. Yes, so this is my first pageant and I got a chance to win. So I'm going to use it to the best way I can. But one thing I would advise young girls and men as well is don't give up. If you want something in life, go for it. Do not stop, no matter what. If somebody tells you, oh, you're too young to do this, because I got that a lot. Got that as, oh, Sharlyn, you're like only 19. You should only be focusing on school. And I was like, oh, yes, I want to focus on school, but I also want to do something else with my life. I want to be an advocate. So I set my mind to it and I went for it. Yes.
So you have to focus.
Focus is the best thing.
In the university, what are you taking?
I'm studying criminology.
Kai, wewe ukikuja hapa sasa utakuwa mtu wa kutushika.
Msifanye makosa. Yes, but I'm studying criminology with a path to pre-law. Yes.
Which university in the US?
I'm studying at Whitworth University. It's a private university.
Buturudia, unajua?
Okay, inaitwa Whitworth University. Yes.
Which state? You know, America tunasikianga ni states.
Yes. So I live in Washington State, specifically Spokane. But Washington
Specifically?
State, Spokane. Spokane. city. Yes. So there is a difference though between Washington D.C. and Washington State. I know people get that confused a lot. Yeah, Washington State is a state as a whole, but Washington D.C. is in a different state. Yes.
Lakini sasa you're all under one president.
Yes, pretty much under one president. Yes.
Elections are coming in the US this year, next year?
2024.
Will you vote?
Years. I should be able to vote now. Yes, I'm 18. I'm 18 plus, so I can finally vote. Yes.
You've a US ID.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Are you a citizen for that matter?
Not yet, but I'm planning on being one.
At what age do citizens in the US get IDs? Because in Kenya you have to attain the age of 18 years for you to apply to become a legal Kenyan citizen.
Yes.
In the US, is it different?
It's the same thing. You do, but for you to get your driver's license, you can be 16. Yeah. So,
16 years?
Yeah, so I got my driver's license at 16.
You're a driver?
Yes, I do.
Na kule driver ni upande wa kushoto ama ni kule?
I do drive. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm just a very motivated young girl. So that's one advice I would definitely give to a lot of young girls out there. Definitely don't give up. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it no matter what. Yes.
One of the main problems we have with young people like you, like me, like the ones we have in this studio is a problem of drug substance abuse. Yeah. Do you have it the same problem in the US or kule mambo?
Oh, we definitely do. We have a lot of substance issues in the US, but there's also rehabilitation centers, so most people do that. Most people go and get that help, but a lot of people also still struggle with that, and that also ties into the mental health, the emphasis on that. So with persons with disabilities, my goal with the mental health aspect is to really support them, like include therapy sessions for them, because obviously caregivers of persons with disabilities it's a very tricky thing to take on, and also another thing I've noticed in Kenya, and also by speaking to these organizations, is obviously for students not getting enough support from their communities, and another thing, a lot of these parents hide their children from society because they're scared. They're scared how society will perceive them. They'll say, "Oh, it's a curse, etc." And that's not right. I would say one thing, how I view it with my sister, I view it as she's not in my world, I'm in her world. I'm trying to understand her to the best of my ability and how I can help her. So that's one advice I would give to a lot of Kenyans out there who are listening and who will end up listening to this. Yes, so don't shun them away from society. And also another heartbreaking thing is seeing a lot of these people with disabilities just crawling on the street, trying to fend for themselves in those manners, and also like it's very tricky, it's very hard, because in the US you won't see things like that. They do have group homes for persons with disabilities. They have that help from the government, and that's one of my goals. Hopefully, if I'm capable of doing it, I am hoping to hopefully help implement the 2003 Act, the Disability Act that was amended by President Kibaki. Yeah, so if anybody is willing to support that, I'm here.
So you know President Kibaki?
That's the year I was born. So growing up, I did listen to him. Yes.
Eta kwa Queen Sharlyn, tumetaka tiga itwarie show ni Queen Sharlyn Miss Kenya USA, tumetaka tiga itwarie show live kuvitukira Facebook, rurenda rwa tiga itwarie support pages, Embu newspaper, Embu news channels, Embu news press, YouTube tiga itwarie umuka tiga tikando wala mathini wa studio no muthonyo monde ni njamba itagwa God Moas comedian, njamba ya Embu Bus, njamba ina shwe mo mzuka muno muthenya wa sato vandu betagwa Pikash iretwa Miss and Mr Embu Bus. Ai abana arauga ina ticket ithano cia kuvonge enda kuthina wa shoyo igakorwo ivaria Embu vandu betagwa Pikash koguo God Moas ingenda ngorwa nginengarirwa tickets icio. And before we go back to conclude thina wa shoyo tuna mundu gwitwa Queen Sharlyn Sharlyn. Allow me to read some feedback hapa. Vile watu wanasema kidogo. Tuanze na jamaa anaitwa Deno DKE. Can you speak in Kiembu?
Yeah, a little bit.
A
little bit. Nimwega.
So grandma has taught you a few of Kiembu.
I understand Kiembu perfectly. To just speaking it is a problem. Yeah.
No kumama means what?
Yes,
you sleep. Wala Pobredi wa Mathias following from Dallas and anauliza pia, what are your plans in terms of giving back to the community where you're born, where your grandmother lives?
Yes. So another thing was that we had that conversation a little bit with the pads. So however I'm able to support, if there are any donors who are willing to help out with that, that's one thing I would be very passionate of helping out with. And also because I know, and it's not that in Embu there are no persons with disabilities, I definitely want to give back to that community as well here. Yes.
Jamaa anaitwa Joe wa Embu. This is indeed a good one. Allow me to ask you.
Yes.
Is Sharlyn dating?
Yes. Yes.
Unajua hapa wanasema kwa hivyo uko na mpoa.
Yes, I am dating. But we're keeping that aside. This is business.
That is indeed a good one. Just kidding bash. What are our plans to give? Hiyo amesema kidogo. Afu kuna mtu anaitwa Bridget msio mavili leo show ni kizungu nakwambia. Anaandika romo no tuna na njamba yetu Crispin when we met mundu wetu wa Sharlyn. Na timu role ya ulirie. Let me reserve that. Joe, I am wow, this is great to 110 years old doing this great thing with a very big title and very great huge heart. Congratulations. Devi Monene, Embu to the world. Mundu wetu wa Deno KE mwambie afanye Kiembu, tumesema anaongea kidogo. Great show. The girl is doing great. She needs to empower girls in the county. I know you're planning to meet the governor?
Yes, I am planning on meeting her. Yes, this upcoming week.
Ukemba Junior, she's going far. As in anaenda mbali. Hiyo umeelewa hiyo? Dhathi Mugendi hiyo kidhongo ni ya US tu. Mr. Obasia uliwahi kwenda huko kwani? Kennedy Mwalile Lusungu nayo ni noma sana, nasikia kama niko USA. Salute. Charles Mwaura tigaitoria na huyu mrembo anaongea kavora wewe kama mnusuya a good guy by the name Charles Marvelous. Mtengeneza hiyo buza makavora Alajua Kiembu. Jona Mugambi watching from Kavari, good one. MC Overseer wa Mabiri. So you're planning to meet the governor this coming week?
Yes, I'm planning on meeting her this upcoming week.
The MP Manyata?
Yes, hopefully tomorrow. Yes.
And we have a young queen in the building, and I would want her to be brought out close here. She goes by the name. I bet you can push your seat this way, Sharlyn. Push your seat this way. Your mic can as well move. So with a young queen, where is the mic? A mic, please. With a young queen in the building. Shamim, how have you been?
Fine.
Bado unasoma? You still going to school at which is your school?
Lions Primary School.
So besides the Richmond is environment and Embu County, you've won another title, you've not contested anywhere else?
I have 2 more titles. Little Miss Talent, 2023 and 2024. Miss Watoto Fund.
Miss Watoto Fund. Na uko grade?
3.
I want to give you 1 minute to ask Queen Sharlyn at least 1 or 2 questions. It's now your time. Take it away, young girl.
At what age did you start modeling?
What age? I started modeling. Actually, I wanted to start modeling since the age of 3 years old, but I didn't get the opportunity till I was 16.
Yeah. Is Miss Kenya USA your first title?
It is my first title. Yes. It was my first pageant, and I won. Yeah.
Tuendelee, your last question.
That was all.
Mhm.
Aw.
So she's a very young miss, and when she saw that we bring you on board, akasema pia angetaka kukua kwa hii set. Which is your one word for this young girl?
Keep going. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you. Yes.
Mhm.
To keep on taking pageantry seriously as well. It will open a lot of doors you don't expect. So keep doing it.
So Queen Sharlyn, before we come to the conclusion, I know this title comes with lots of endorsements.
Yes.
Have you had any so far?
Yeah, so I just got named brand ambassador for certified homes. Yes. Yeah.
Certified homes.
Yes. It's
Wani
a-
wanauza mashamba mpaka kule
Yeah.
ng'ambo.
So I'm the ambassador for the diaspora in the diaspora. So kama mtu anataka nyumba kutoka ka Dallas, if they want to buy a home here in Kenya, they can go through me and I can definitely connect you with certified homes and get your home. Yes.
So that means you'll be attending some very high level meetings in the US.
Yes, I will. I will.
Like?
I am not sure yet. We're yet to see. Yes. Yeah. As soon as I get back, we'll plan that out.
Grace Kari Mwangi, wow, she can speak a bit of Swahili. At Los Kagereki, you're Los Kagereki?
My mom is Rose Kagereki.
So Los Kagereki is your mom.
Yes.
Ivega Key tells me to ask you,
Yes.
Neatia.
Nekwega. Hiyo ni Kikuyu. Hiyo ni Kikuyu.
Hiyo ni Kikuyu. Anatutesa kidogo.
Oi.
Wacha nikuja tuangalie some more feedback hapa, tuone watu wanasema namna gani. A lot more feedback coming through here. Jeff Njiro watching from Cameo, say hello to Madam Kagereki.
Thank you.
Na
Hello.
unajua Kagereki ni babu, si ndio?
Yeah.
Let me see some more feedback hapa. Jaskin Mas tulisoma yake. I'm watching from Kenjokoma. I love the show. GMO already watching from Counting 044. Kimandi. Kimandi, wewe bwana itabidi uzoe. Wa Embu online great na njesige tonga. So before we close the stream, Madam Kagereki, Madam Kagereki, Queen Sharlyn, I want to give you 1 minute to do your final thoughts.
My final
Talk to the
thoughts.
people.
Yeah.
Camera ya kiongozi, this is your camera.
Okay. So one thing, I'm grateful for everybody who tuned in. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the supporters. I'm really grateful. And this goes to show that I'm from Oguere. I came from a very small town and I ended up being Miss Kenya USA. So you can do whatever you put your mind to and never give up. That's my motto. Never ever give up. Go for what you're very passionate about. And also another thing is be compassionate for those persons with disabilities. If you see someone crawling on the street, be nice to them. Don't be rude. That's not nice at all. So be more compassionate, be more loving, help out your community the best way you can. And also another thing, if you would like to donate in any way, if you would like to support in any way also, please contact me on my Instagram page. It's Sharlyn_Kagereki. And the other one is Facebook, Sharlyn Kagereki. You can find me there and reach out to me. If you need help, I can help you connect with also other people who are able to help out here in Kenya. Thank you. Yes.
That is indeed a good one. Asante sana kwa
Thank you.
kuitikia mwito.
Asante.
Madam Shamim, asante sana kwa kuja pia. Niembeta muthuriki mwana watari mwendo wabasi wa maviri mbugire mundu umwe gateka aria mari guku na nginya njamba etagwa mundu ule kana mwekara the official driver mundu ugwetwa Queen Sharlyn na gakairi mundu ugwetwa Queen Sharlyn na uma wake na wanake atwirire ni mundu wa mathabu na tugure ugete njamba umwe gateka tiri cio ko ni njamba etagwa God Mwas njamba ya kuma Embu bus uria muthanya wa Saturday agakorwa na show babu kubwa wandu beta wa pika sheretwa Ms and Mr Embu bus aratwira tukeumeria na woguo we will be posting some 5 tickets iria cio sia sponsor ni mundu gwitwa Queen Sharlyn koguo witikira ona twekera post bare uge kana nurenda ticket yo nitugukuria ciuria kadha wa kadha ino ni one of our motives ya go support what is happening within Embu koguo nitugukorwo tukibesana ticket ithano nundu wa Queen Sharlyn goka Queen Shamim goka cia ugatwara kundu gwitagwa Pikash muthenya wa Saturday ni Saturday muthenya wa Saturday vende akindukiretwo Miss and Mr Embu Bus tukoragwo twi bandu betagwa Nena Plaza koroka kwena nginya bandu betagwa influence media gwa kiongozi msanii wenda Charles Mavera Zoleka kani kuthondeka nyimbo audio video photography na kindu gwetagwa editing voice overs twetagwa tigaitwaria show just near influence media ngienda ku advertise na twe close online bandu metagwa real time blogging wogo kindu gwetagwa live streaming I know some numbers laid up wherever you can talk to us you can reach us to kurutira werosio we've done it for so many people mara when live streaming real time blogging kindu gwetagwa even online marketing we can do that one for you try live kundu gwetagwa tigaitwaria show page on Facebook support pages Embu newspaper Embu news channels Embu news press na kundu gwetagwa YouTube ni tigaitwaria show and I know this is our inaugural show kundu gwetagwa tigaitwarie toga to salute and ora mara to support ile mundu gwetagwa Classic Hotel Newton Kevuti we salute you in a very big way mundu gwetagwa Java Ken Java I know you're coming through this weekend to gweterete muno jamba gwetwa mukundi CEO wa kundu gwetagwa Privam Nuts turago salute as well na mundu gwetagwa MP John Gitonga wa Mukunji camera 1 mundu gwetwa muthuri kimwana utare mbwitire na njamba itagwa Njona Mugambi camera 2 ya camera 2 ira ya mundu gwetwa Queen Sharlyn na Queen Shamim tare na njamba gwetwa Omuripota noyo no vetiria kithungu auliria mundu gwetwa Queen tigazi kamudokeria agondo gwetwa masini tare na njamba gwetwa Mukeni Kenyatta still photos mundu gwetwa Charles Mwaura kana kiongozi msanii so until tomorrow so for now asanteni sana kwa kuja na kwa kutuangalia salute